Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, this is the next part in my mission editor tutorial series that I began. So far we've had a look at placing a carrier and some flights on the carrier to take off from the carrier. We set up an enemy airbase up here at Kremisk, and we set up some Vigans to do their thing over here, and we gave the Vigans an escort of MiG-29s. We have a flight of Su-27 flankers that run out ahead of them and are programmed to search and engage in this bubble over here. So that's kind of the beginning of what we got going on. At this point, I'm going to create some flights for a friendly airbase. I'm trying to remember. Sochi Adler is our friendly airbase down here, which is probably about, what's that, 20, 40, 60, it's about 80 miles away. But it's probably a safer bet. So let's zoom in on Sochi Adler down here and see what we got. So, my friends have other modules that aren't just carrier based, so I wanted to set up some planes at the airbase that's on the ground, so if they wanted to do some other things they could. So I tend to like to make it fairly easy, so I'm going to set up a USA group. I am going to set up some F-15Cs because my one nephew loves the F-15. So, F-15, I can't type, F-15C Group 1. And I like to keep the names simple so I can distinguish what they are as well too if I want to start playing with triggers, which is kind of the key thing. Set them up for combat air patrol. We're going to make them a client. And I'm going to drop them right here, and I'm going to do takeoff from parking hot. Now, he disappeared because he went over here to parking space 56. I want to set him over here, over at parking space 1. Pow, there he is. Now he's over at 1, which is rather nice. I'm going to give him a loadout. Let's see. It's a little distance away, so let's give him some AIM-120s, some AIM-9s, and some fuel. I like that one. I also like the aggressor scheme here. That paint scheme is rather cool, so we're going to do that. Now, I'm also going to bump this up to a 2-man flight. And, as you see now, once you've placed one, it automatically usually sets them in the the next spot right next to them. So we're sitting at spots 1 and 2, which is rather cool. Parking spot 1, parking spot 2. I can move them to 3 if I wanted to, but yeah, let's do that. Let's move them to 3. Give them a little bit of room to stretch their wings a little bit, so to say. And also, when you're going forward and adding them, I found that it's usually easy to add the second person in the group and start from the second unit, choose your loadout, then when you go backwards, number 1 has that same loadout. If you do it the other way, you sometimes miss giving the other one the loadout for some reason. So, I'm going to add some waypoints at this point. We're going to shoot these guys up the coast to just see what's going on. Yeah, I could probably do better than that. I'm going to delete that waypoint. That makes a very short waypoint. Waypoint 1. Waypoint 2 to kind of overlap what's going on here so these guys actually run into something. Waypoint 3 over here. And we'll do waypoint 4 all the way back at Sochi Adler. Boom, waypoint 4. So there is a flight of F-15s. I want to add another... Oh wait, they are both clients, right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay. Oh, I added a waypoint I didn't want. That's where I get a little confused sometimes with the right click, left click thing. I forget which one deselects me, I guess, before I do something stupid. Okay. Let's go back in here. I like the F5. So I'm going to select an F5. And I'm going to place them here. I'm going to pick client. I'm going to take off from parking. Now he puts them all the way over here, and I hate being that far. I like being like just right here. I can just go boop and then take off. So I'm going to set him all the way over here. What did I do? I went 1, 3. We'll go 5. That way we're leaving a space in between each one. Oh, you know, I did something else here too. They're facing the wrong direction. I got to figure that out here in a second. So anyway, like I said, we add the second group. Now go into the payload and choose your payload. Give them more fuel because it's kind of up there. Let's see, which one do I want to give him here? I tend to like that aggressor. That looks pretty cool too. Let's go with that. Again, do what you want. Make it fun, you know? He's set up for combat air patrol as well. So see, now I'm still on the second unit. If I go back now to the first unit, why didn't it do that? Okay, I stand corrected. Or maybe it's I pick it on the first unit, then go to the second unit, and it picks the same thing, but it usually works out that way. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Now the third unit ended up... Oh, I know. I picked the first unit. That's what I do. I pick my payload here first, and then move forward, and it will give me the same payload on the other guys. And the same skin, usually. Yeah, number 2 has it. So we're just going with 2. F5E Group 1. Let's zoom out a little bit. I wonder if I can do another advanced waypoint action of start and en route task. Yes, search then engage in the zone. I hate when I hit this. There we go. I hit the arrow keys. The editor is very frustrating at times, especially when you hit something like the arrow keys. I still can't figure out an easy way to zoom in and out of here right where I want to go without using arrow keys and the damn mouse together in combination. So it can be very frustrating to get this just right. Trying to find that little edit. I'm just going to delete that. This is a pain in the ass sometimes. There we go. There's what I'm looking for, this guy. But see, if I hit the up arrow at this point, it's going to switch this thing right here. So I've got to grab and pull, and then we'll do this. Change that bubble to 80,000 so it gives them a little bit to do there. And then I'm going to add a regular waypoint to send these guys up to here. Send them up the coast to there, over to here, and then I'll send them back to Socia Adler. Boom. Now, that's the F5 group. Okay, right-click to get back out of there, because if I left-clicked again, I would add another waypoint. Again, it gets a little frustrating sometimes working the controls and getting it all right and remembering what does what. Oh, you know what else I want to do? I want to move this guy from... Guy number 2 is at 6. Let's move him to 7. So again, we're keeping everything uniform and nice. Now I'm going to add another group to this. I'm going to add a group that is actually already in flight. Some people don't like to take off from the ground, and I don't blame them. I tend to like these ones that are already in the air sometimes myself. So we're just going to happen to have an F-18 that's a client that's already in the air doing their thing. I'm going to set them at 10,000 feet because I did the 6,000 feet thing one day, and my F-15s would spawn in, but they spawned into a mountainside, so they automatically died. So it's a safe bet to not, spawn things in at a too low of an altitude. I think 10 to 15,000 seems to be a rather, good starting point, I guess you could say. So I'm starting on number 1. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. I had it all mixed up. So I started out with unit number 1 here. I'm going to pick my payload now. I'm picking an air-to-air. I'm going to pick the skin that I want to use. I really like this vampires one, so I'm going to go with this. Now, since I've done that, if I move forward to 2 now, 2 grabs the payload that I've selected, same one, and also has me set up for the same skin. So that is what I was trying to explain earlier. I'm sorry I confused that. Set up everything on number 1 the way you want, and then move forward to add the second unit. Excuse me. And then it works out rather well that way. So anyway, let's name him A-18 Group 1. And he's a client as well. Now let's go to give him a route. Going to add a waypoint. Oh, I picked the wrong thing. Damn it. Add. There we go. Now I'm using, this is where it gets confused, I'm using the right mouse button to grab and pull the map, so I don't have to zoom all the way out. It's hard to remember all these controls. So I'll zoom out a little more, so I can pick my first waypoint. Let's make it way up here, where I have these other guys coming up and turning. And then waypoint 2, and then I'll send him back to Socia Adler as well to end his mission. Boom. Now before I go any further, I'm going to right click so I get out of this interface so I don't add another waypoint. That's what I tend to do. And that's not working right now. Why? I don't understand this mission editor sometimes. So I'm actually right-clicking and it's not... There we go. Finally got me out. Okay. So now I've added an F5 flight that starts on the ground. I've added an F-15 group that starts on the ground. I've added another F-18 flight that starts in the air. Now, to make this interesting, I'm going to add an AI flight. I'm going to add... Oh, an F-117. Let's put one of those in. Let's make him excellent. So we're going to stick him right there. Pinpoint Strike. What is it? The Nighthawk. Nighthawk. Group 1. Oh, things just got interesting, didn't they? So we'll do Nighthawk Group 1, F-117, excellent. And we will give him some cool big-ass bombs. He's probably going to be around 20,000 feet in the air. And his advanced waypoint... Oh, wait. Let's add a second one. So there's two of these guys. I'm going to add an advanced waypoint action now. Add. Task. Bombing. Here's where it gets good. See, now I have my little bombing thing there. I just got to grab this guy and pull it. See, sometimes I can use the arrow keys and it doesn't move up that action one, and other times I grab the arrow keys and it changes what my performed task is. So I really don't understand some of this, and you'll find the same thing, that fumbling around the controls can really be a pain in the ass some days. But it's a lot of trial and error. Like I said, I'm sure there's an easier way to do a lot of what I'm showing you. I'm just showing you what I know how to do. And plus, I'm doing this at 2 miles, so it makes it really freaking hard. Let me zoom out some. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to set these guys up to Pinpoint Strike. And I want them to nail the airfield. Boom. Too bad there isn't. Sometimes there's an airfield option too, to not just bombing, but bombing an airfield. Start an en route task? No. Perform command? No. Oh, don't tell me I missed it now. Oh, there, it's still there. Thank God. Okay. Weapon automatic, quantity automatic, group attack. Sure, whatever that means. I've never done this part before where I pick these boxes, so I'm not quite sure. Okay. Now, I'm also going to give them a waypoint to get them there. Basically, we're just going to shoot straight in. Give them a straight shot. And go back to Sochi Adler now. And have him end his task at Sochi Adler. Boom. Again, both of them have the same loadout. They're both excellent. Alright. There we go. So, now we have a few groups. And let's give them one more thing. Let's give them something else. Let's give the Nighthawks, they usually fly by themselves, I would think, because they're stealthy. So I don't know what else I can add to them that would be stealthy. Ooh. Now, a B-1 would give them away, I would think. I want to give them an escort, but I'm afraid in giving them an escort would kind of blow their stealth, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'll leave it at that for the moment. Okay, let's save this mission. So, anyways, this one's a little longer than what I anticipated, but I wanted to show you guys how to add some more stuff to it. So this is going to be part... Oh god, what part am I on now? Part 4? Yes, part 4 is where we're at now. So again, any more comments and suggestions, please feel free to leave them. But this is how now people with other modules can join in on my fun. So we got F5s, F-15Cs, and then I have one rogue Hornet flying up here, coming up to do its thing. Actually, I think it's a two-man, and they're both clients, so 2 Hornets, I'm sorry. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the tutorial so far, and I hope my fumbling through here has been quite helpful, or that you've came away with something useful and learned something. I'm going to continue to do these as this mission progresses. And again, looking for comments and suggestions. If you guys know of ways to do this better, I'm definitely all ears, because I'm trying to do this and learn to make the missions, because that's really the only way to have fun in this, you know, is creating your own missions. And I'm all about PvE stuff with friends. So until next time, thanks for watching.